When he said it can't be done, I did it anyway. Road is endless. Each mile a memory. Carved into the map is a proof that this journey has been mine. Picture's gonna tell a long story and will be etched in the history.
When do you like to stop?
Interesting point. There's no thought about stopping.
There are some who would love to travel the world over, and there are some who would love to ride bikes. And then there are very few mavericks who love to do both. Meet Deepak Kamath, who's got the world record for riding his bike into all the continents of the world. Hi Deepak.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi Doctor. Thank you.
Welcome to our podcast,
Thank
Words
you.
of Wisdom,
Yeah.
with Sanju, and Manju is behind the camera today.
Nice. Yeah.
So it was amazing to meet you yesterday, but you came with an emergency.
Yeah.
And that's how we thought, we could meet up and, let the world know what you have done. And especially since you are our city boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
When did this craze start, Deepak?
It's nice to be back here. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on your platform and share my experiences of having traveled the world the way I would want to. I mean, I've charted my own destiny, and here I am. I think it's been a nice life so far, and I'm sure it's going to be better. I go back to 85, 86, in those years where, of course, the commute was the cycle. Yeah. I mean, if you're not walking, you're cycling, and very few people on the road. And that was one of the aspects where I believe parents had that confidence that he's gone out, he's going to come back. So 86 was college. 86 to 91 was my college year, and I believe college gave me a lot of exposure and support from NCC standpoint, because I joined MES college in Bangalore, and being part of the NCC was mandatory. So I had to choose between battalion and the One Karnataka Armored Squadron. So after understanding the differences, I chose to enroll myself with One Karnataka Armored Squadron, wherein we would drive and ride in tanks, the likes of Vijayanta, Arjun, Bofors, T-72. I mean, these are tanks we have actually experienced, like sitting in a tank and firing it out in Ahmednagar. So for me, that's been an experience. And to live with the army and understand the lifestyle that they have, the hardships that they go through, the long hours of training, rigorous training that they're exposed to, was itself a very, very deep, education, which gets impregnated in your mind. And for me, I believe some of the unseen support is always which doesn't come into the mainframe are parents, because I believe parents have a lot to do with, how we get groomed to face a life outside of our family. I mean, house, right?
So you said you transitioned from cycling to biking.
Yeah.
So what caused this transition in short?
I mean, I didn't want to use shortcuts, because cycling is very difficult, and it takes ages and ages, and it's a forever travel. I know people who have been traveling around the world for years and years together. They are on the road.
So you want to showcase your view in shorter time and a duration because of biking?
For me, it's been like sharing a story as it happens, and I also believe I gave up. Let's face fact. Cycling was not my forte, or I really did not enjoy cycling at that slow pace. You're doing about 150, 160 kilometers in a day, and you're cycling throughout the day, and
endurance levels. Yeah,
absolutely. So I really, the kind of grit and determination that these guys have who cycle around the world are phenomenal. And I don't fit into that league at all. No, I'm not there.
So about this circumnavigating the globe, or taking your bike to all the continents of the world, how did that come across, and what was your experience in?
So I got my scooter, CKQ 2436 was my first Chetak, which mom got for a dollar deposit in those days. Bajaj Chetak was launched, but if you have a booking with dollars, then you get out of turn allotment. I mean, those days when 1985, 86, Bajaj Chetak was the
Hamara
Bajaj. So mom helped me that, and then I got good marks when I moved on from my second PU into graduation, into BCom. So that's when the MEY 322, my second hand ESD came in. So for me, that's been a huge change. Rides started to happen from 87, 88 or 88 onwards, wherein my mechanic Basuraj, I wouldn't really call him a mechanic. He's a great friend even to this day. We teamed up really well. I mean, he would maintain my scooter, he would maintain my motorcycle, he would bring in a lot of joy when we both were together. ESD started off with good rides. We did quick rides between Kanyakumari to Khardungla and Kathmandu and back to Bangalore. It was in 1991 wherein when we were doing the fastest around our India, I came across people in car trying to create and break records of circumnavigating the world in record times. Now, as per Guinness, with whom I had a correspondence, like what does it take for me to do this on a motorcycle? So they said, we don't have a category for motorcycles, but in case you're trying to circumnavigate the world in the shortest period of time, then you need to follow the guidelines that we have for the car. So the length of the equator, 25,000 miles or 40,070.03 kilometers, that's the total distance that you need to travel, which is the length of the equator. And you need to have 1,000 miles in each continent, the 6 continents, 1,000 miles in each continent. And just because you like the Bangalore highway, you can't keep going up and down. So you come from Bangalore, you come to Mangalore, you move on towards Goa, you can't go back to Bangalore. Unless you want to go back to Bangalore via Goa, Hubli, and use. So you can't use the same road twice. So 1,000 miles in each continent without using the same road twice, the length of the equator across all the 6 continents. So that demanded a lot of planning.
Yeah.
So 1991, I remember that I got a clearance to kind of do this. Now this time I've made mistakes, right? Now 89 was a big mistake of stepping out of the country without proper planning. But this time I was not ready to, there's no room for errors because this is one go at it. We traveled out of Bangalore to Delhi in 2.5 days, almost at the speed of the Rajdhani of those days, 2,552 kilometers. And then we realized that there's plague in Surat. 1994 October, if you go back, plague in Surat had grounded all outbound flights. No flights were flying Indians out of the country. So we had hit a roadblock from day one. But surprisingly, we still went ahead and reached Delhi. Delhi we reached, and we met a very high-profile Rotarians who used their good offices. I remember Cyrus Kadgara from Gina Cargo. He spoke to Gulf Air, and we were packed off. He said, "Aap chalo, aapke piche piche aapki gaadi bhi aa jayegi." So, well, great assurance, and we were carriers of plague is what the world thought. And Bahrain was my transit, almost for 17 hours, sitting in the freezing airport, and connecting flight to Cairo. We land in Cairo, clear the immigration, find ourselves a place to stay. Indians did help. A lot of people volunteered, like, okay, let me take care of that. Let me take care of that. So I believe for us, by the time we completed this trip from Bangalore to Delhi, Cairo, we went around because Libya cancelled my visa after realizing that I'm riding a motorcycle into Tripoli. They said, no, you cannot cross border on a motorcycle because of the political situation. So which meant that, I need to do 1,000 miles. I cannot use the same road twice. So Cairo to Aswan, scenic route, go to Alexandria and come down, gave me about 2,900 kilometers. So my Africa 1,000 miles is done. I'm happy to get out of Cairo and fly into Rome. Rome was 17 days lost, had changed the weather pattern. October, November, chilly rains, wet weather, not very conducive for travel, because you're just riding miles and not doing anything else. But then we are out for a record. I'll come back to this later. So from Rome, Italy into Austria, Republic of Czech, Germany, France, and UK. We skipped Spain, we skipped Portugal because the weather was bad. I mean, we didn't really want to ride into the snowing conditions of UK, and then, we had a larger part of US waiting for us. So for me, we did about 7,000 kilometers in Europe before flying out with Air India. Of course, riding in the US was another 20,000, 30 kilometers in 30 days.
So all in all, in how many days have you finished?
47 days, 42,038 kilometers over 47 days across all the 6 continents. So making me and Basu the first and the fastest Indians. I would retain it as Indians, and I'm sure it's, we are the first in the world to have done what we have done. In those days, we are not talking about social media, we don't have internet, we don't have facts. I mean, we run on facts, we run on, newsprint. No mobile phones, no satellite phones. I mean, technology was still creeping in. Google, born in 1890s.
So even the navigation maps would have been
paper maps from the American Automobile Association.
So, but do you feel it's much easier now with the GPS and other tracking devices and things?
The two things. You need to understand. Is it easy? Yes. But has it made your travel more better? No. Because you are so glued onto your handheld device that you forget to talk to Dr. Sanjay. I would switch off my GPS and I would engage in a conversation with the local.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Dr. Sanjay can give me more insight into what Mangalore has to offer than a Google can give me.
True.
You would give me the hidden places. You would tell me, like, Netepole marra, irege edde goli soda sikkundu. You will tell me that. The Google is not going to tell me that.
So that's a good takeaway point.
Absolutely. I believe in travel, people should adapt. And, adaptation is not for you to tick off places where you want to visit. I have a bucket list.
Yeah.
Don't tick off your bucket list. But the bucket list countries or places that you go, once you reach that place, try to speak to the receptionist. Speak to the hotel waiter. How many people would actually look up and see the waiter's face?
True.
Forget asking their name. Today we are so busy, and today, the technology is so advanced that they ask me to scan a QR code and order whatever I want. I said, boss, I'm young timer. I don't know. ये सब नहीं देखता है मेरे को. आप बताओ मेनू में क्या है? नाम क्या है बताओ? So start with the name and then the whole thing changes. It's a whole big deal for anybody.
So right
I
now
believe
the food comes, people are busy clicking pictures of it and then tagging geolocation. And
sometimes I do that too, but the pictures don't go immediately. I mean, for you to take away as a memory, first see the picture. I mean, the food. Take a picture. Keep your phone aside. I mean, ideally in today's world, I would say don't even take audio because we are overdoing it. It was good to a certain extent, but now, there are a lot of restaurants who say that no phones allowed on the table, which is good. I mean, it gives you time with your family and friends. Let's go back to 30 years back, wherein your phone was hanging in some place of your home, right? It was always stationed in one place. Somebody calls, you miss a call, you don't even know there is a missed call, right? So I believe, personally for me, in recent times, I would yearn to go back 3 decades. People may call me a hypocrite, but what we did in 1994 of circumnavigate the world in the fastest time on a two-wheeler, I believe if somebody asked me, I'm not worried about do it the again, record, but in those days I was all of 24. I would strongly discourage people from doing it. Create something. Because, like my record, when the roads were empty, how many bikes were there on the road? Hardly. We were riding across the US. We found the roads having 8 lanes. Those roads were built for the next 50 years. And in recent times when I've been there, those 8 lanes have become 12 and 16 lanes. The constant expansion to accommodate as much as vehicles that are coming onto the road.
And they're still packed.
And they're still packed is one. And people can do speeds because the roads are so beautiful. Good. But if we have to do it here, we can't. That's one thing. But in travel, maturity has, of course, come in over the last 3 decades since I've done what I've done. I believe the world is a big, beautiful place and you should slow down.
So you said about the world being a beautiful place. Do you remember any kind of, say, hostile situations and things like that? Maybe what you can call having a negative kind of an impact and things like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really use the word hostile. I wouldn't really want to share anything negative because negative is a shortcoming in me where, I did not plan for it. And that becomes a sour situation. And I don't want to remember it. But I would work a way around it and make sure that experience is not happening along the road.
Okay, now coming to the finance aspect of it, Deepak, thing is, as you said, the visas or kind of repeat visas, the stay, the travel, the petrol, these things cost a lot.
Yeah, they do.
And you were in a job with the HSBC, as you said. And how did you manage it? And how did you manage the finances? Whether somebody would help you, some organization, or did the government do anything about it?
Okay, so if I have to go back to the 1994 circumnavigation, I had ESD as my principal sponsor and backed to a certain extent by Castrol oils. Then we had a host of people who joined the madness. Some giving us money, some giving us the best of equipment that they had. Canara Bank were my official bankers, though they did not give us any money, but they took care of the bank guarantee that's required to get me the passport for my motorcycle. That itself would have been a big dead amount sitting with the bank. So the bank overlooked that and gave us the bank guarantee without we keeping the physical money with them. That was a great help, and changing our Indian currency into dollars without the commission. So they became official bankers per se.
So did you have to advertise for them?
Well, we used to have the sticker. I mean, none of my people who have believed in my madness would demand anything. I mean, I believe for me, there's been absolutely no pressure. I've sold my dreams on PowerPoint presentations in recent times. In those days, it was sitting with a good friend who was good with his typing and typing out sheets of planning and giving it to the SD guys. I mean, SD guys were, in those days, motorcycling was fun. Today, it's brand driven. and the brand has certain expectations of the deliverables. So that jeopardizes the whole outlook of adventure. SD guys, like go have fun. And SD was one of the most easiest motorcycles to maintain. Strip the bike in the middle of nowhere and you can put it back and you can still run. I mean, our bike didn't fail. That's besides the point.
That's what I was coming to next. Like, since you said you had Basu as your doctor mechanic.
Absolutely.
So, when you go on these kind of expeditions and adventures, if you get stranded, or if you say, you might have run out of gas several times, maybe. But One time. Okay. So apart from being stranded, have you had any kind of, or do you feel that you need to know a little bit about mechanics of the bike and things like that? Because Basu, you might have been with Basu, but in case you were riding alone.
In recent times, since 2017, I have been riding the Bajaj Dominar, and the Dominar brand has been very nice to me. They have given me a complete hands-down training in their facility in Akudi, Pune. I am capable of stripping the bike down, putting it back. But I'm not a grease monkey. This is where a little bit of my planning comes in, wherein I would plan my service intervals and I would request Bajaj to kind of help me with the spares to be shipped to the place where I would want, or there's a spare in waiting, or there's a spare that I'm carrying with me. Like, I would always carry a chain sprocket set because that's the most vulnerable wear and tear item. I would carry filters because those are again consumables wherever there's an oil change. I would carry a couple of bearings, the wheel bearings. But in case there's anything that, like take for example in Africa, my rear shock has failed. So I asked Bajaj, can you please ship? So they would SOS it to me to wherever I am. So for me, that kind of logistical support is a blessing, huge blessing, because I don't have to carry that weight with me all the time. So critical components is with me. Anything that out of miss is shipped to wherever I am. Why do we have, as humans, we have a yearly health check? We identify the pain points and work around it. It's the same thing with the mechanical motorcycle as well.
True. That's going to be a very good takeaway point for young budding bikers and adventurers.
Yes. Today I believe, one thing which I strongly emphasize is, when you switch on the machine, let it idle. You speak to each other. A minute is what it takes for you to understand whether the bike is speaking to you in the tone that it should be speaking. Right? Because today my voice is like this. In case I have a sore throat, as a doctor or anybody, what's happened to your throat? I mean, we ask them, right? I mean, what's wrong with you?
True.
So that's exactly what you need to learn from your motorcycle. The motorcycle is going to speak to you. You should have the patience to listen, not rev it, not jump on the bike, start, brr, no. Most of us do that. And that's when, you miss out on the essential communication of your motorcycle. It's an extended part of yourself. You treat it as yourself. You clean it, you maintain. It's how you maintain yourself. It's a reflection of you.
Okay. Now, coming to support, as you said, you've got from various organizations, the companies. Another important factor is family.
Yeah.
So you told about your mom supporting you.
Yeah.
And what happened after marriage? You and Anita ma'am.
Yeah. So 96 we got married. 98 our kid was born, Anushka. And 96 once we got married, it was a conscious decision for me. I mean, I didn't come under any pressure that, my focus needs to move on to ensuring that, a family life is something that we aspire to live. I was part of the ITES boom, wherein medical transcription was one among the hottest jobs, well-paying jobs. I mean, I earned a lot. I was earning in 6 digits in those days. I mean, money was just flowing in. But was I happy? No, I was not. But then, mundane, So that's when I decided to move out of ITES, went into farming, went to Gorakhpur, of all places, the foothills of the Himalayas. I'm very passionate about dogs and breeding, exotic breeds of dogs. I've been doing. I don't now anymore. Then daughter started getting asthmatic attacks in Gorakhpur. The temperatures used to be 4 in winters, would just spike up to 44, 45 in summers. So she was just not able to adjust to the big shift of temperatures swinging through the year. I put the map of India on the floor and said, like, kidhar jayenge? I said, nothing like Bangalore. Chalo, let's go back to Bangalore. So 2002, I came back to Bangalore and I joined with HSBC. Was with them until 2017, until they said, you need to relocate to Hyderabad. I said, I'm not married to work. So that was a bold statement, but my wife, she supported me. It's not the end of the world. 2015, we packed off our daughter to her boarding. She did her genetics engineering from SRM University. And she was there, and that's when my wife fueled my passion back to life. So I've been controlling that urge to kind of, get back on the road. I mean, 2 decades was too much.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 decades was like, imagine riding a SD Road King and the likes of it to riding a kinetic Honda. I mean, mobility was not a problem. I mean, I can ride on anything. I mean, I've graduated from cycling, so I'm going back to cycling also is not a big surprise. But yeah, so I believe Anita's got a huge role in bringing back that fire back in. So a simple indication is from 2017 through 2022, I've done 60 countries.
So that was your second innings in
your
your
and of 60
adventure.
countries. Anita's partnered with me in 26 countries. She's a pillion for about 100,000 kilometers, and I'm sure a lot of wife folks would be very happy, or sometimes the men folk would be very jealous that मेरा wife छोड़ती नहीं है मेरे को बाहर जाने के लिए.
So she supports you for the travels.
Yeah.
Do you support her in washing dishes?
Absolutely. I would like her to say this. I mean, I wouldn't really want to brag See, one good thing about my mom is that I'm a single child. So I've been trained to do the household chores. Everything.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, literally swabbing the floor, sitting down. I mean, we used to do that. I'm sure you have done it, or you would have seen your sisters or brothers do it. Like, नीचे बैठ के झाड़ू मारना, नीचे बैठ के, floor clean करना. We have done it. I mean, I don't know why that becomes a taboo in our society, that why shouldn't we be doing it? I mean, it's our home. The dignity of labor is where we Indians grossly lack.
True.
The minute we find a person who is jhadufying, he becomes a sweeper. But we lose respect also. That becomes the dent. We don't give him the required respect. Would that happen in any other country which we say as superpowers? He's respected there. I mean, you would have seen Barack Obama, giving a fist punch to one of the janitors in the White House. Why can't we be like that?
Okay, you said that from the SD you graduated onto the Bajaj Dominar, right?
Yeah, SD was shut down.
Yeah.
SD revived back in 2022, I guess. I was somewhere in Nicaragua. I watched the launch of the Java, and the brand SD got resurrected in 2021, and I was in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, so you said you took the Bajaj Dominar to
Just as it launched.
Yeah, to Antarctica.
Yeah.
So that was your that was the biking trip finally to Antarctica and doing all the other continents.
So I've ridden the Dominar across the stans, the Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, and Russia. Then the President motorcycle aspired that the Dominar ride on the flight path of the condors. Now, I didn't know what condor was, but I told him, definitely, why not? I went back that night after the press meet and dug deep into what a condor was. I understood that bird, the titan of the skies. And next day when we had lunch, I told the President motorcycles, I said, we are anywhere riding from California and we are riding down to Chile, would it make more sense for us to start the ride from the Arctic Ocean and ride along the flight path of the Condor, and then I take my motorcycle to Antarctica? So as I said, I sell my dreams on a PowerPoint presentation, and the plan was approved.
So how was it?
For me, it was a larger than life. I mean, you can call me the Karan Johar or whatever that guy is in the celluloid world.
Bahubali. Yeah. So how was it? How was the Antarctic experience?
They were. I see logistics. I mean, that's been my forte. Today, I'm very strong. Touchwood, for me, logistics is no more a hurdle. There's no barricades around. Like what can be done. So I started planning with people in Ushuaia who would help me to take my motorcycle to Antarctica. And things fell in place that I should reach between the 15th of November to the 7th, to the 1st or 2nd of December, because they have a sale that can accommodate me. During the Polar Odyssey, the Dominar Polar Odyssey, which started from the 23rd of June and went on until the 9th of December, the very first leg had a crash. One of my team member met with a head-on crash. He T-moded into a car that slowed down for almost 20 days. So the entire planning went for a toss. So I tried to accelerate reaching Ushuaia, but I could reach there only on the 7th, by which time the sale was gone. I missed the bus. So I reached out to almost 15-20 other sales who would possibly take a motorcycle and this lunatic Indian into Antarctica, but no, nobody said. And the next window of availability, which I agreed to, was the 8th of February. So I booked my tickets back home. I left my bike there. I booked my tickets back home and reached Buenos Aires from Ushuaia, by which time there's an angel who I have. She's still there in Ushuaia. She called me and said, "Deepak, where are you?" I said, "I'm just flying back home. I'm in Buenos Aires. I'm flying to Dallas. From Dallas, I'm flying back home. How soon can you be back in Ushuaia?" I said, "I can come back tomorrow because I'm still in your country. Come." So I go back to Ushuaia, meet Roxanne, and she connects me to Daniel Gavrilov of Rusark. He's a mad guy as well. So we both gelled very well. I love Russians. The word impossible doesn't exist. But the only thing that he said was, "I can take you, but I cannot guarantee you a landing in Antarctica. All is weather dependent."
True.
So we strapped my motorcycle. This happened on the 19th, and 25th, my bike is tied to Rusark Aurora, and we are sailing across the Drake Passage to Antarctica.
So
And 1st of January 2019, I land my motorcycle on the continent. And then I ride about 4-5 kilometers one way, about 11 kilometers between the Bellingshausen base of Russia to the General Artigas base of Uruguay. I mean, those base commanders were like, "Hey, this lunatic India." I got my name from there. I'm a lunatic Indian.
So, I mean, seeing the visuals that you have provided, we could see that you have seen the best of the best in the world.
Yeah.
You have seen fantastic wildlife.
It's the best of the best is, like you should always see that as the best, whatever you see. When people say, "I want to go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower," because they know that Paris Eiffel Tower is one of the wonders of the world. So the world is already categorized that as the best. But for me, it's of no relevance. It's just a monument.
True.
People want to climb up the Eiffel Tower and see Paris from the top. I have no interest there. But I would rather ride the B roads of Paris, go towards the Saint Mont Michel, which is in Normandy, and enjoy those roads. Because France is more beautiful other than Paris. How many people would want to do that?
That the kind of wildlife also that you have
Yeah.
seen. You've seen penguins on one end, you have seen
Absolutely.
elephants on this side,
Absolutely.
cheetahs.
Yeah.
You've played with cheetahs.
Yeah, I have.
So I mean, it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And how do you acclimatize to these kind of things where it is quite cold at some point of time? It's almost like going on a Mount Everest expedition.
Yeah.
So
So it's again, like I think
and both physically and emotionally, how would you?
physically there is no downtime. It's all mind over matters. Think I always tell people, think you can do it, half the battle is won. Always emphasize this. It's all mind over matters. And for me, the NCC, the Armored Squadron Majors, the Hawaldars, the kind of support that they've got, and particularly of those, the training team which groomed us for the Republic Day parade. We would be standing in 2 degrees and 3 degrees in Delhi on the 26th of Jan at 4 in the morning. And then these guys would say, like the Sardarjis, mostly Sardars that we have interacted with. They would say, kuch garam socho, pakode socho, chai socho. Because those are right out of the oil and, like served to you, right? When you're in the barracks or when you're in the army units.
And incidentally, in a couple of days, we'll be celebrating our Republic Day
Absolutely, yeah, we are. Yeah, 77th Republic Day. So for me, I believe even in Antarctica, if you see me, I was not prepared at all. I'm riding on a fleece. I'm riding with gumboots. I'm having a 5-degree north face gloves, and my tires are not studded. Completely unprepared. But I did not freeze to that because there's so much of excitement.
Energy, yeah.
The adrenaline is pumping out every minute. For me, there is no room for thought that, like I'm in -20, thand lag rahi hai. No, that's not happening. But what was only happening was I was throwing up because I get seasick like that.
Oh yeah, there was one more thing about what are your fears, and of recent you have overcome that fear too.
That's scuba diving.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm so scared of water. And I've had 2 instances during my Afro-European Odyssey. One was across the Gulf of Guinea, between Idanau in Cameroon to Calabar in Nigeria. I'm sailing across a banana boat wherein the boat is like going up like this and hard, going up like this and hard. And every time it goes up, I said, oh, I think I'm going to get through. And if you see my
Life jacket.
that's a epic, that's a monument of a piece, And the other one was sailing between the Guineas, wherein the roads were shut, the bridges were closed, and the banana boat is so narrow that the fast flowing river is, it's tipsy-turvy. So I've had instances wherein the heart is in my mouth. And of course, Antarctica, wherein, for 5 days, you're seeing nothing but salt water all the way. And every drop of food or water that I take gets thrown out. So, it's almost losing 11 kilos in 21 days of my travel. 5 days down the Drake, 4.5 days up the Drake, and I'm down by 11 kilos. So in these moments, I believe sickness tries to take the better of your energy, but it's again mind over matters. Because the minute you see land of Antarctica, everything gets blurred out.
True.
You're just focusing on.
Do you take any insurance things
course,
when you
yeah.
mediclaim or medical insurances when you
Overseas?
travel? It is mandatory.
I'm so embarrassed to say this, but then I don't have a insurance in India. But when I'm traveling abroad, I'm very, very well covered, including evac, medical evac. That's something that that's one of the very critical component of your planning.
Well, I think that's a good message for again.
I have almost $1 million in coverage when I travel out. It's a huge premium, but you don't know.
No tension.
Yeah.
What I'm noticing is like you are a walking billboard. with all these, do you have any? You said about, you talked about SD.
Yeah.
And
So
each tattoo.
this is a arm of gratitude, because of course, the unseen pictures are always the family because they're always there with you, right? But these are corporates. There are people behind these corporates who have seen the kind of madness that I bring to the table, and they've believed that and I must say this. There's been no pressure. I may be sponsored, but there's no pressure. They say, Deepak, have fun. And हो सके तो एक दो चार पिक्चर भेजना. ऐसे ही करना चाहिए, वैसे ही चाहिए. No, that has not been the way I negotiate with my sponsor.
So this has become a permanent picture.
Absolutely. For me, YesD, 6 continents in 1994. The Dominar, which gave me the 7th continent of Antarctica, though I've done 6 continents with them as well: Antarctica, US, North and South America, Europe and Africa, and Asia on the Bajaj Dominar as well. YesD, Antarctica did not happen in 1994. So this was a deal with Bajaj that if I'm able to finish this ride successfully in Ushuaia from Arctic Ocean, you guys would help me to take my motorcycle to Antarctica. And said, let's do it. So for me, that is important. I mean, it's a relationship. It's not a corporate relationship. It's a human relationship that I cherish. And I believe I've had people who've really understood that. And people have supported and stayed by me. They still do. And then Rusak, this guy, this Daniel Gavrilov and his wife.
That's the captain's wheel, no?
Yeah, that's so he and his wife, his wife literally went into tears when she saw this. I sent her a picture of this tattoo. I said, nobody has done this, Deepak. And then, of course, I have, every tattoo has a story from around the world. Wherever I finish my ride, I walk into one of the best tattoo artists that's available in that country and in that city and say, I have a flight tomorrow. Can you give me some time? They usually do.
So your first tattoo was the SD?
No, the first tattoo was this, the dragon and the eagle. And then the next tattoo was the compass and Armstrong. The third tattoo was, this was my first tattoo. This was the Sagittarius. And then I have this tattoo of Mount Olivia and the Cinco Hermanos in a bottle. This was in Buenos Aires. And then this was in Buenos Aires. I loved the artist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 came there. Because this is when I finished my 7 continents. And then I have a self-shot picture of the penguin family on my shin, my calf muscle. Because I believe the penguins are a beautiful species. They're like humans. The babies, the way they nurture the babies. And then most recently, I got a tattoo of our nearest ancestor.
That is?
The world knows about our ancestral lineage to the chimpanzees. But when I was on my ride in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and at the same time when scientifically they have proven that the bonobos are, the bonobos are our nearest ancestors with a 99.9% DNA match. My tattoos have always been about some phenomenal experiences. And it's very difficult for me to choose, what gets onto my body. What gets onto my body is a challenge on myself, and people ask me, oh, you're not going to take anything back to your grave. I said, you're proving wrong. I'm taking a lot of memories with me in the form of my tattoos.
Oh, as a token of appreciation and all those. But more than anything, you have actually changed our outlook also by your adventures. And I hope a lot of people who are watching this will take it home and learn things from this. And of course, the visuals that we'll be putting up, and thanks to you, are phenomenal.
Yeah.
That-
I mean, I still believe the world is a big, beautiful place. I think people should give time for yourself. If I may allowed to say this, and if you can listen to me here, if you have reached this far, one thing which I emphasize is give time for yourself, because we all have been through the COVID times wherein I'm sure we have lost
Yeah.
one or two or few of our nearest and dearest ones whom we knew. People whom we have lost also had dreams.
True.
You know, for us, this is written. Yesterday, we walking into your clinic was written, but nobody has seen tomorrow. We don't know what is happening tomorrow. So, I would suggest, live for today, enjoy your day, make that phone call. If you have to speak to someone, don't push it out for long.
Yeah, the world is a more beautiful place, and more beautiful with all this from
Thank you.
Achal cashews.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being
Thank
with
you.
us.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you. Yeah.
thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, the primary hygiene method involves the smoke baths using seasoning. I would really.
Some bunch of people. Yeah. And we don't even know them. I'm not even sure whether we'd be able to meet them again.
That's the send-off we are getting for having a feast at our place.
This is what Peru is all about. The llama, she spits, she gets decorated, and she gets to meet strangers like me. Oh my god, you're so pretty. Can I give it a kiss? What do you